Greetings, music geeks, audiophiles, and juggalos. My name is Jimmy, and you are listening to the Weekly Waltz, episode 10.
Do I say something there?
No, you're okay. This week I've managed to cook up 3 more songs for all you guys at home. We're going to start things off with a Twin Cities artist named Gaby Castro, who recently released her single Shy, which is now available all over the place. It's a really nice, catchy tune, which shows off some really great songwriting talent. And after that, we're going to listen to the post-rock band from Oregon, from Portland, called This Patch of Sky. They released their most recent studio album, S/T, earlier this year, and that's the follow-up to their first one, which was Heroes and Ghosts, and that was released last year. It's a really relaxing piece of music, so be ready to mentally and physically prepare yourself ahead of time for this one. Yeah, get nice and comfy in your seat. It's gonna be you're gonna feel like you want to take drugs after listening to that.
Whoa, man.
And last but not least, we're going to tune in the dial to Led by Monsters. And the guy behind that project is actually an independent Twin Cities performer who only releases songs on occasion, but when he does, they are always very creative pieces of music. And all that is coming up later in the show, as well as links for everybody to check out everything else they've released at the very end. So, we have a returning host this episode. You first appeared in our very first, actually, didn't you?
Yes, I did, yep. Andy Henriksen, here I am.
The
one and only.
And I want to ask you, so I just to remind everybody else, if you haven't heard the first episode, you are a engineer, live engineer, as well as a recording engineer, like producer, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I do both sides of the field, I guess.
Sweet. And has your favorite color, green, changed in the past 10 weeks?
Oh, you remember? No, I think it's still green right now.
Okay.
For now.
All right, well.
You never know when it's going to change.
I know. Yeah, who knows? Well, thanks for coming on again for a second time, and congratulations on being our first repeat co-host.
Thank you, Jimmy, and I appreciate you asking me to come back.
Sure thing.
It's always a pleasure.
Oh, yeah, of course. Has there been anything new you've been working on since we last talked?
Well, there is, I guess. My friend from back home is coming up, and he's a good songwriter.
Uh-huh.
But he needs help in the instrumentation department, so I'm gonna produce a few songs. Maybe we'll release a single or something.
Nice.
And see where that takes him.
Sweet. Well, why don't we get cracking into our first song here? The first one's gonna be from the independent Twin Cities, kind of California. I guess she's kind of back and forth between the Twin Cities and like the West Coast. But her name's Gaby Castro, and she released a single Shy on September 23rd, and that is going to actually be on a upcoming studio album from her, which we don't know when it's going to be released yet, but it's in our future, in our short future, I think, hopefully. And then this is the first single off of that she released, so I like it. It's a nice piece of music, so why don't we take a listen, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. Here we go with Gaby Castro.
When we first met, I knew we'd be good friends. You've got the kindest heart and a smile that never ends. You're quite the optimist and bring light to my day. But I never saw this coming, it's taken me away. I told myself I wouldn't fall for you, but my heart ran before my mind could think it through. And now I'm paralyzed. I wanna tell you how I feel, but I'm too shy. Now I've fallen, but you're not the first one. make my mind run wild and my heartstrings come undone. I should be used to this, I've been through it all before. But whenever I'm around you, you keep me wanting more. I told myself I wouldn't fall for you, but my heart ran before my mind could think it through. And now I'm paralyzed. I wanna tell you how I feel, but I'm too shy. I'm too scared to say what's on my mind. Don't know why I'm so afraid. I'll never know if I don't try. I'm holding on to something I can't deny. I need a way to tell you I'm so glad you're in my life. I told myself I wouldn't fall for you, but my heart ran before my mind could think it through. And now I'm paralyzed. I wanna tell you how I feel, but I'm too shy.
All right, cool. Well, that was Gaby Castro and her song Shy. That was a single, once again, off of an upcoming album, so we'll be on the lookout for that, won't we?
Oh, yeah. Where is she from again?
She's from the West Coast, like California, I believe. But right now she's in the Twin Cities.
Cool.
But
cool.
yeah. Song-wise, I think that, I mean, it really, like I said at the beginning of the show, I think that the songwriting structure was really cool. Very, very clear, like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Very straightforward. Instrument-wise, I thought it had the acoustic guitar was the first thing that kind of drew my attention. It had a really nice tone to it. Really, like, I don't know. It kind of it was kind of nice because at the beginning, I know that it was mainly just the acoustic guitar and her vocals.
Yeah.
But I thought that the tone that they got from the acoustic guitar kind of provided a nice supplementary, like, percussive feel, as well as, like, keeping a rhythmic.
The high end on the acoustic was definitely hyped.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. And throughout the song, it was a really, like, punchy but not too pillowy kick drum, right? Front and center in your face.
Yeah.
And
the drum sounded good.
Yeah, definitely. And then there was a banjo that came in through the bridge, which was kind of like a little pleasant
surprise.
Yeah, nice little surprise in there. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I like the horn sense.
That was nice too.
Very cool.
Yeah, definitely.
It sounded like maybe one of them, like towards the middle, was actually a real trumpet.
Yeah.
I know the one on like the right side was definitely synth, but I wasn't sure about the one. So.
Oh, they sounded real.
Yeah, well, I mean the one did.
Yeah, the one did. Right.
I thought the bass guitar was awesome.
Yeah.
The tone there was really full and round.
Well, yeah, once again, that was Gaby Castro. Go check out her single Shy, which we just played for you, and be on the lookout for that new album. And I'll provide all of our links at the end of the show with everybody else here that I've got to read, or got to play.
A quick question. Do you know where that was recorded at, or?
I actually don't. I didn't look that part up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, let's get into some music news. Nice little.
Yeah.
Let's
tell me what's up. What's going on?
Well, first of all, after months and months and months and months and months.
Oh, okay.
On end of rumors from all over the place, Pink Floyd has now officially announced the release of their new album, The Endless River.
What?
Yeah.
Pink Floyd back together?
Yep. And it's going to be the first album, I think the 15th studio album,
Is Roger Waters in?
No, he's not going to be part of it.
Okay, all right, that makes more sense.
Yeah, but it'll be the first album from them who, I mean, I'm using quotations here, the ones who took the name Pink Floyd. So that would be Gilmour and Nick Mason, the drummer.
Nick Mason, yeah, Richard Wright, I think. Is
he passed away. But yeah, as I was gonna say, like moving into this, but it's the first album from them in 20 years since 1994's The Division Bell, and the band is also stating that the album is a tribute to their late keyboard player Richard Wright, who passed away in 2008. And so I guess kind of the process that they were getting into when recording this, or when starting to record this album, is basically Dave Gilmour and Nick Mason got together and they started just listening to old, really demo recordings that they kind of did just over the past 20 years or whatever together, which included some stuff from Richard Wright.
Sweet.
And
That'll be awesome.
They're kind of compiling all of that into this one album, which I think it'll be a nice turnout.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, The Division Bell, I've only listened to like half of the entire album. I saw like a video where they performed it live, and I like the songs on it, but I mean, nothing compares to Old Floyd for me.
No, I agree, yeah.
But
Division Bell, I own it. It's pretty good. It has some good stuff on it, but it's one that can sound dated.
Yeah.
Unlike other Pink Floyd like albums and stuff. They don't sound as dated, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
absolutely.
They could be in any period of time and still sound amazing.
Right.
But I think Division Bell has, like, you're like, oh, it sounds like early 90s from a 70s band.
Uh-huh.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, apparently, when they were talking about it, they're trying to make this new album sound, because, like, 20 years has passed, so, I mean, there's all this new all these new technologies and recording and all these new technologies, all these new methods and everything. So in their interview, I guess, that they had when they finally announced this album, they kind of were talking about how this new album is they're trying to go back to some of their roots, but also exploring some of the new ways and technologies that have come up over the past 20 years. So I'm really interested to hear what's going to come up of that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, and according to Rolling Stone magazine, David Gilmour recently made a statement about the album, in which he says, "We listened to over 20 hours of the three of us playing together, and selected the music we wanted to work on for the new album. And over the last year, we've added new parts, re-recorded others, and generally harnessed studio technology to make a 21st century Pink Floyd album. It feels right that the revisited and reworked tracks should be made available as part of our repertoire."
Cool.
Yeah, that'll be sweet. And the album has officially been set for release on November 7th of this year. Nice.
I'll look forward to that.
Yeah. And following up with that, in album releases, or more potential album releases, the Replacements are being rumored to be releasing a new album in the near future, with 2 rumored songs named to be Are You In It For The Money and Dead Guitar Player.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. This would be the first album from them since 1990's All Shook Down. And since they reunited last year, the band has also played a handful of standalone shows and festival dates. So it'd be cool to hear some new material from them in the studio.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
To see what they do.
Yeah. Didn't the cassette player or the cassette you won on the first episode, wasn't that like a Replacements?
Yeah, it was Stink, and then
Sorry Mom, I forgot to take out the trash.
Yeah,
that's right. Yep. Did you listen to that yet?
Oh yeah, I've listened to it 100 times.
How is it?
It's awesome.
All right, cool.
It's
good to know.
It's really good.
Well, you'll be able to you'll get a chance to win number 2 today. So
I hope I win another Replacements cassette.
Yeah. Well, that's about it for news today. But I'm going to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. I know.
How personal are they?
Oh, very.
Okay.
We're gonna get deep.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah. So episode 1, we had you on, but we only really got to talk very, very, very briefly about what you do and how you do and all that good stuff. So I thought that now would be a good time to kind of really tear away at the scars of your brain and
Okay.
literally, I mean, like, I'm gonna break your head open.
Oh. I gotta go.
Yeah. All right. All right, Andy. Well,
all right, ask me away. Ask away. What do you want?
Cool. Well, first of all, you are once again a live engineer and a recording engineer and a producer. So you work with music. You're a tech. You're a techie.
Yeah.
You're one of us.
Yep.
So take us back to the beginning a little bit. How did you first come about being a music lover? What were some of your early influences, and how did that kind of grow into a love for the art of recording and live engineering?
All right. So, I mean, back in elementary school and stuff, I liked music and stuff, and I was taking piano lessons and joined band.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really have like a one genre or like one artist or anything that really like resonated with me until my friends showed me Aerosmith and AC/DC in 4th or 5th grade.
Uh-huh.
And we're like, well, we got to start a rock and roll band now.
Yep. Well, you have to after listening to Aerosmith and AC/DC.
Yeah.
There's no other
Back
option.
in Black, oh, such a good album.
There's no other option at that point.
Yeah, and so that's what really got me like starting to obsess about music. And eventually like I started learning drums in the band, and then I got a drum set on the Christmas of like, I don't know, 6th grade or something. It was a pretty crappy set, but it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was like just a kick drum, a tom, and a snare drum. And then the cymbal, it just had one cymbal, but it came up out of the bass drum.
Oh, wow.
And it was a really crappy cymbal.
That's amazing.
I'm sure my parents found it at like some like junk store.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool though.
That is pretty cool. So like at that point, was it kind of like a gradual change from just loving music to loving, getting into recording and production, or was it kind of really swift? Like, was it like, oh, I just discovered this is like my new favorite thing in the world?
Like I played in a band from when I was 12 until I moved up to the cities,
mm-hmm.
which is, I don't know how many years, probably 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really get into recording much. I always recorded my band's like practices on a cassette, like an old cassette player. We
Right.
just hung it in the middle of the room because
Mm-hmm.
it was loud. And I would be interested to hear those actually, but I'd say I really started thinking about it when I was probably a junior in high school, because I was like, well, I got this band. I really dig what we're doing. I would love to go and record somewhere, and I would love to learn how to do it. And we went to this recording studio that was in a small town that we lived
Mm-hmm.
by, and it was kind of an unpleasant experience.
Yeah.
And we were inexperienced ourselves with studio stuff, so it's not surprising that it kind of went south. But after that experience, I was like, oh man, I really need to learn how to do this so I can do it properly.
Uh-huh.
And so I looked into the Institute of Production and Recording up in Minneapolis, and eventually, and that's, once I went there, that's when I really got into recording, and the live sound started the same way. I had this band I really loved, but it was hard to get gigs where we were from, a small town. So we just staged our own gigs, but we needed a PA system, so I bought all this stuff and just kind of tried to do it myself.
That's awesome. That's great. So yeah, you mentioned that you went to IPR, the Institute of Production and Recording, for a 2-year degree, right?
Yeah, just a
2-year
2-year degree.
So when you went there, how did your experiences at school kind of change your craft? Like, was your knowledge, I know you said your knowledge was a lot different and grew a lot, but how so, like, what did it kind of change from before you were at school until after you were at school, and how did that kind of change your professionalism in the industry, I guess?
Well, I just grew not ignorant at school about the whole thing, and like, I don't know, just realized that it was possible. Because growing up in a small town, like, you see these things and you like hear about the music industry, and it was hard to picture myself actually doing it. But then once I was in school, I was like, oh, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. There's hundreds of thousands of people doing it.
Yeah.
So that's really, that was the biggest thing I think school changed about me. It was just like, oh, it's possible.
Yeah.
I can learn. I can do this. And
Right.
and that's, I just had to be professional about it. And I got all my partying out for college, like, because I went to college for 2 years before I went to IPR. So
Sweet.
I was pretty serious when I started there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with that as your field, how do you usually go about getting your name out there to people for recording or live engineering? And does it kind of is it kind of different between the two methods, or like?
I mean, a lot of times there are pretty similar avenues of reaching out to artists and stuff, and usually it's just I know someone who works somewhere, and sometimes they call me, and they're usually like engineers. I get a lot of gigs through other engineers, and then also when I do live gigs, I always talk to the band afterwards and see what their recording schedule is like, and if they have a record out or just releasing one or working on one or need to work on one. And that's kind of it. All my friends are musicians as well, so I just live off my friends, I guess.
That's always a plus.
Just a parasite.
Right. And finally, which of the two, do you have a preference? Do you like recording a little bit more than live engineering, or do you have a preference over the two? Yes,
I do. I like recording more than the live sound stuff, because you can get more creative with it, and you can throw ideas out, and sometimes they sound awesome, and you can really make a band or an artist or whoever sound great.
Right.
Whereas live sound, you have situations where you're in a crappy club with steel corrugated walls, and you're dealing with monitor feedback issues all night, and it's not as fun.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I know I've talked to a lot of people about this, and I hear most of the answers I hear are pretty much the same, that we would prefer the recording side of it and being able to work creatively with these musicians. But then I'll get that other percentage of people who say that they're more into the live sound stuff, and mainly because it's more of an on your toes thing where you have to think really quickly. Yeah. And I think it's mostly just kind of that type of people, I guess, who really just like to think and really like to always be on their toes and always have to say okay, this is wrong. What can I do right now to fix it?
Right. I mean that it is satisfying if everything's working.
Right. Absolutely.
I love that, but
yeah.
I don't know. I just would rather be in the recording studio.
Yeah. Well, same here.
Yes. It's so much nicer.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. Well, thanks for answering some of my cruel questions.
Yeah, it was painful.
I know. We'll get into our second song here, and this is kind of a nice chill song, so that it'll be a nice, chill out moment to get some time to recover from those brutal questions.
Yeah, that'll be good. I need a massage, spa treatment.
Sweet. This song is from a band called This Patch of Sky, and they are from Oregon, I believe, more specifically the Portland area. But this song is called Love is in Beauty and Chaos, and that was from an album that they released. Where did they release it? When did they release it? I don't know. I think they released it over the summer. Yeah. They released it recently, a few months ago. And the album is called S/T. S over T, ST, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But this song is called Love is in Beauty and Chaos. It's a very post-rock song. They're a post-rock band, but it's, if you guys know post-rock at all, it's very chill-out music to listen to when you're on your couch and just want to just go to sleep or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say something else, but...
Yep. Yeah, and then we'll come back and talk about it a little bit, discuss the song, and we'll get into our game right before our very last song here. So
awesome.
I'm excited. Are you ready?
Do it.
This Patch of Sky. Here we go. All right, so once again, that was This Patch of Sky, a post-rock band from Portland, Oregon. That was their song Love is in Beauty and Chaos from their album S/T, which was released in August. I really liked just throughout the whole song. I know that I find this in a lot of post-rock, but there were some really cool syncopated like drum rhythms going on in the back that I thought were really nice throughout. They added a really nice touch to all that chord structure and all those melodies being played.
Yeah, I thought it was very cinematic, which is probably something of post-rock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that familiar with the genre, but I probably listen to a lot of it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Right.
It's very cinematic. I thought the kick drum sounded huge. The snare was very reverberous sounding.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe like the drums were a little loud.
Yeah, maybe they did seem a little bit pushed up.
I also thought the snare was like, it really cut through the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And was like there and present the whole time.
Yeah.
What else do I have? The orchestration.
Yeah.
The orchestration was very excellent.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, all the arrangement and everything. You
The
can tell that they
arrangement.
really planned that out.
Yeah.
Thought about what they were going to do. Yeah, really cool arrangement. I like how they did that. And just with that, all the instruments that they actually used, like all the different timbres, I think really connected nicely in the mix and made a really cool sound. There was some really cool, nice, pleasant violin parts and some other added strings in there that I thought were a really cool touch.
Yeah.
Throughout the middle section, especially, I think. Anything else?
I thought I love like drones and like pads behind, like as like a basis to build a song off of, and they definitely did a good job with that. Because the constant thing going on all the time was nice. I like that a lot personally.
Definitely. All right, cool. Well, once again, that was This Patch of Sky and their song Love is in Beauty and Chaos. And that was actually recorded at D Records Studio. That's D-WRECKORDS Studio in Portland, Oregon, and mastered at Audio Siege in Portland.
I like Portland.
Yeah, I've never been there. Have you been?
Never, but I like
the idea of Portland.
Yeah, I like what comes out of Portland.
Yeah, I like what I've seen, which is on Portlandia.
Yeah, and that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
Although it kind of makes fun of Portland, but whatever.
Put a bird on it, dude.
Put a bird on it. All right. Well, we're gonna sum up our discussions here with our game. Cool. So this week we've got it's a repeat game that we did on episode 4, I believe. It's called Rock, Funk, or Metal. All right. So I gathered 9 artists from Bandcamp. And I just went on, I kind of searched under the genres rock, funk, and metal, and just kind of looked at their names. So you have to guess off of their band names alone, whether they're a rock band, a funk band, or a ska band, no, or a metal band.
I like it.
You ready?
Let's try it.
Number 1, Vanilla.
Funk.
Funk is correct. Number 2, Engraved Delusion.
Metal.
Metal is correct. Number 3, Dance Floor Outlaws.
Rock.
Funk.
God.
That is incorrect. Number 4, Audio Toxic.
That sounds like a rock band.
That's metal.
Damn it. Started out so good.
Now you've only got half.
Okay, alright.
5, The Improbables.
Rock.
Rock is correct. That is very correct. White Heat.
White Heat sounds like a rock band.
That is correct. They are a rock band. Warmer.
Warmer?
Mm-hmm.
Funk.
Rock again.
Damn it.
Number 8, Storms. And that's all caps. Storms.
Metal?
Metal is correct. And finally, The Mouse Outfit.
The Mouse Outfit is funk.
That is correct. All right, well, you got 4, 5, 6 correct out of 9. I think. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds right.
6 out of 9. So you do win a cassette. Unfortunately, we are not able to give it to you right now, but we will give it to you when you get back to the apartment. But yeah, perfect way to segue into our third song here. All right, well, last up we're going to hear Led by Monsters. It is a kind of a solo project based from a musician who, I guess he's mainly, first and foremost, I guess he's kind of a performer, like a cellist. But yeah, he goes by the name Led by Monsters. So go and check those out at the links that I will provide to you guys at the end of the show. Throughout this song, it has a kind of a very musical background and everything, all these different instruments happening. But first and up front, there's kind of, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but there's like a really profound, it's a very political song. I'll start off by saying that. There's kind of a very upfront and kind of no frills message going on throughout the thing. And the song is actually called Heartless and Proud, We Should All Be Ashamed.
Heartless and Proud, okay.
Heartless and Proud, We Should All Be Ashamed. So, yeah, I'll be listening for that little message. It's kind of like a gentleman speaking, doing a speech with like a little AM radio effect on his voice throughout the whole thing. But it's kind of cool. I like it a lot. I just like I like these kind of songs where they have like it's a spoken word piece. That's kind of backed up with a really musical, backing thing. So, I don't know. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
See what you guys think. You guys make up your own minds. But here we go with Led by Monsters.
I hope the world will not have to witness this again anytime in the future. Images of children's toys being tossed around, luggage being opened, and passports, including passports of children, being shown on television. They are turning our grief and mourning into anger of a whole nation. Just for 1 minute, not addressing you as representatives of your countries, but as husbands and wives, fathers and mothers, just imagine that you first get the news that your husband was killed, and then within 2 or 3 days you see images of some thug removing the wedding band from their hands. Just imagine that this could be your spouse. The demise of almost 200 of my compatriots has left a hole in the heart of the Dutch nation. It's caused grief, anger, and despair. Grief for the loss of the loved ones. Anger for the outrage of the downing of a civilian airplane. And despair after witnessing the excruciatingly slow process of securing the crash site and recovering the remains of the victims. To my dying day, I will not understand that it took so much time for the rescue workers to be allowed to do their difficult jobs, and that human remains should be used in a political game. If somebody here around the table talks about a political game, this is the political game that has been played with human remains, and it is despicable. Since Thursday, I've been thinking how horrible must have been the final moments of their lives when they knew the plane was going down. Did they lock hands with their loved ones? Did they hold their children close to their hearts? Did they look each other in the eyes one final time in a wordless goodbye? We will never know.
All right, once again, that was Led by Monsters, a independent musician, performer. Yeah, based out of the Twin Cities.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like that song. I thought that the speech throughout the whole song, like just listening into what he was saying, it was a very powerful message.
Yeah, very emotional.
And it tugs at the heartstrings a lot, which I think that everybody has that piece of music that really like, gets you going and makes you really feel upset or like sad or comforts you in that time,
right,
when you're feeling that way. But I feel like in this piece, more particularly, I feel like the message kind of lays that out to you. I think that the words that the speaker was saying were the things that you were paying attention to the most. And the things that really kind of draw your attention. But I think that with that whole thing, I think that the music alone, like just the instruments and the arrangement in the whole piece, made a really nice background for that speech, because I think alone it wouldn't have had as deep or powerful of a message that it did without that music background.
Yeah, the music definitely added a lot of emotional support to what the guy was saying, and they complemented each other nicely.
Yeah, absolutely.
The arrangement was awesome as well. I like that.
That was really cool. Yeah, you could. Yeah, really complex, composition there.
Yeah,
you did.
It really was.
And also, just production-wise, really cool tones that he used. I really like I said earlier, that there was like a little AM radio effect on that man's voice.
Yeah.
Which I really liked. It kind of sounded like it was actually coming out of a radio. And all the other instruments kind of sounded like they had a really raw tone to them, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was well produced throughout. The mix was good.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that about wraps up the show today. You can go and check out all of the music that we played for you guys today at the links that I will provide right now. First up, we heard from Gaby Castro, a independent musician from the west coast of the U.S. She also plays quite a few shows in the Twin Cities area. So go and check her music out at gaby-castro.com. That's GABYCASTRO. Go also and check out her music at gabycastro.bandcamp.com and facebook.com/gabycastromusic. Second up, we heard from the post-rock band from Oregon, This Patch of Sky. Go check out their music at thispatchofskymusic.com, thispatchofsky.bandcamp.com, and soundcloud.com/this-patch-of-sky.
Jesus.
I know. And finally, we heard from Led by Monsters. Go and check out their music. Or go and check out his music at ledbymonsters.bandcamp.com and soundcloud.com/led-by-monsters. So, really, I really like those songs. So, did you have one of the three that you prefer the most? I think, or you think?
Yeah, the Led by Monsters.
You think
sure.
you like that one the most? Yeah. I think to me actually, I thought it was a tie between the second and third. This Patch of Sky had a really nice piece, so I think it was kind of more of a tie for me this week. But
cool.
Yeah, really. All three of them were really solid pieces of music. I like them a lot. So yeah, those are all those links for their stuff. Do you have any links you want to shout out to people to check out your music recordings or things that you've done or anything like that?
No, I'm more of a word of mouth.
Oh. Well, if any bands out there looking for a guy to do their recording,
yeah, hit me up. My email address is Henriksen_Andy@yahoo.com. HENRIKSEN_ANDY@yahoo.com.
All right, cool. Well, along with all that, please be sure to go and check out all of my various links across the interwebs. Facebook.com/theweeklywaltz, SoundCloud.com/theweeklywaltz, Twitter.com/theweeklywaltz. Go and donate to me at our Facebook page. There will be a little donate tab up at the top. Go click that up and send me money. Also, I can give you a direct link too. It'll be bit.ly /TWW-donate. So give me some money. Give me your money, please. I would much appreciate it. Yep. And aside from that, thank you for tuning in once again this week. Those are some really cool pieces of music. I hope you enjoyed those, Andy.
I did.
All right, man. Well, thank you everybody once again for tuning in. Be sure to come back in the future when I put out my next episode. And until then, please support local music as always. Until next time, you guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.